Can 3 New Mexico counties secede from New Mexico and join Texas? My name is Dylan Crabb. This is Bobcat Radio. This comes from Heirs of Enchantment, which is a hilarious name for a website. County Secession Bill introduced to New Mexico Legislature. So here's the bill. House Joint Resolution 10. It reads, a joint resolution proposing an amendment to Article 1 of the Constitution of New Mexico to establish a procedure for the state to consent to the succession of 3 or more contiguous counties. So the bill would, if this passes, this didn't pass in the legislature, but if it did pass, it would then put a petition to the counties in question. I think Leah, Eddy, and Chavez in the southeast corner of the state. No less than 15% of the qualified electors of each contiguous county signed a petition requesting that the county hold a special election on the question of whether the county should concede to be admitted to the union as a new state or join an adjoining state. So here's what the article reads. It has to be frustrating to live in Leah and Eddy counties or to represent them in Santa Fe. These counties account for 96% of all oil produced in New Mexico, which is the second biggest oil producer in the USA. They are also the two largest oil producing counties in the nation. On top of that, these counties are rock-ribbed red, that's hard to say, counties that share much more culturally and economically with neighboring Texas than New Mexico. So they have more in common with Texas right across the border, apparently. They don't see much return on the money they send to Santa Fe, and while they for years have been outnumbered in the legislature, recently saw further diminution of their power when the congressional maps were drawn by Democrats to split southeast New Mexico. That was the last redistricting in 2020. And then there were other idiotic efforts by some in the legislature to pass bills like SB 18, the Clear Horizons Act, which would effectively kill both oil and gas in New Mexico's economy. The bill died this session, but it and others like it remain a threat. So how about these counties succeed from New Mexico and likely join Texas? That's the idea behind HJR 10, which would, if various votes are successful, give those counties the opportunity to determine their own futures. Republican representatives Pettigrew and Mason have put it together. These are the representatives behind it. Randall Pettigrew and Jimmy Mason. County, Chavez, Eddy, and Leah. So this is a question for the constitutional lawyers. I found one court case on Oyez. Oyez is a collection of Supreme Court cases, a catalog. Texas versus White, decided April 12th, 1869. Reconstruction era, post-Civil War. Basically, Texas wanted a refund on U.S. bonds while they were declared succeeding from the Union. And the court concluded I think this is pretty decisive. The court further held that individual states could not unilaterally secede from the Union, and that the acts of the insurgent Texas legislature, even if ratified by the majority of Texans, were absolutely null. Even during the period of rebellion, however, the court found that Texas continued to be a state. And historically, I don't think counties and municipalities have the same level of sovereignty as states, if they have any sovereignty at all. I think counties and municipalities are under the control of the state they're in. And if there is a path to succession for these counties, it would probably be to go to their home state legislature, get legislation passed there, basically consenting to it, and then coordinating with the states they want to join, getting legislation passed in their legislature, and then going to the U.S. Congress and getting U.S. Congress to approve of it. But each of those 3 steps is a whole process in themselves. So, again, this is a question for the constitutional lawyers. What do you all think about it?